Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ziki. Oops. I have 2 hours, I was told. No. I'm going to make it very, very short. I know. I was sitting with you all the time. It's coming up. I'm from a company called Skodix, and I wanted to first say thank you for inviting me, because this is my favorite food, the gerbo. I come from Hungarian family, so every time Peter invites me, I want to thank Peter and everyone here for making the event and making me come over. I also think I was invited to make sure that you all understand that not all Israelis are like Rafi. There are some normal people too. But we'll see. Okay, so is this? Yeah, this is moving forward, right? Okay, so I'll tell you about Skodix, a little bit about the technology that Peter has here in Hungary and that we created, but that's not the important thing. The really important thing is what's the value of Skodix for you and for your customers. And I'll share with you some samples while I'm talking, so you can just see them. It was also on the invitation that you saw on the agenda. But what we try to do is we try to turn printing into an experience. This is the technology. We've talked, people before me, Rafi and the HP team and the lady before me, all about creating an attention, getting the consumer attention and your customer attention. And there's a lot of ways to do that. It all ends up with the fact that we need to get experience from people in order for them to connect with whatever you do, the product that you do. It could be the content. Again, like Rafi said, and like the lady said about the title and the text, and all that content is very important. It could be also the paper size. If you make an invitation, a very big invitation, like HP said, with the 10,000, that's also creating something that will make an attention. But what we do is, in addition to all that, we create the attention by giving another dimension to the printing. And the samples that you see here and the samples that, again, you can see later on, it's all about the attention created with a different technology, a 3D technology. So, if we summarize everything today, and I'm hopefully, when I started, I thought I should be the first to introduce, but then now I think it's better that I'm at the end, because maybe I will make a little bit of order in your head. It was all black and white many, many years ago. Then color came. Color was very special. Everything was with color. You could do invitation with color, magazine with color, newspaper with color. That was exciting. But today, just color on white paper, it's nothing. So now you need to do big paper, you need to do different paper, you need to do very, very interesting text, you need to do a lot of good messaging, but there's also the enhancement. Enhancement, when we talk about print enhancement, we talk about effects like gold, like embossing, like varnish. All these add to the experience. They also create attention. And this is what we do. So the book industry, for example, understood this many years ago. If you go to a bookshop, you will see all the covers, they have some sort of embossing or varnish to get your attention. I'll mention it again. Packaging. Also, cosmetics. You will not see a box of L'Oreal with just CMYK on white paper. Just color on white paper, you will not see a box of good cosmetic brand with that only. It will have something special. And also the photo book industry is now going through a trend. If anyone ordered a photo album, you will see now going into different papers, different sizes, and in the future you will see also some special effects. We have the technology all over the world, and many, many big brands are using it. Again, for one reason. They all want to be number one. They all want to be special with whatever they do. If you do a brochure, you want it to be special. If you do an invitation, you want people to like it, to keep it. The lady before me talked about, you do something, you make so much effort, you don't want people to throw it away. You want people to stop. And how much time they have? 3 seconds. 3 seconds to look at it, and then to decide if they want to continue reading or throw it away. So I want to talk a little bit about what's happening around us. You've heard a little bit before me. I will add to it. But we are now, as a company with the technology, we are able to really support our customers all over the world. So you've heard about the variable data printing today, and you heard about the texting, a lot about the internet. This is all over the world. You know, Rafi said 91% of people have cell phones and iPhone and iPad. This changed the whole world. It also changed the printing industry. Why? Because information, most of the information now is delivered by electronic media. Yes, you still get reports from the banks, it's true, but many people are going online and search the report. If you want something, you want information, you go to Google. No one opens an encyclopedia. My daughter, she's 14 years old, she doesn't even know the word. What is encyclopedia? She never heard the word. No one is using it anymore. So information is electronics, most of it. The printing shrank. Now printing is more promotion, more advertising, more promoting brands and advertising of brands and companies and products. So the printing shrank, but if a company decides to do printing already, for some reason they still want to do a brochure, they still want to do a box, they still need to do a bag, and they print it, then they invest more money and make printing better. So smaller industry, but much higher quality. And we see it all over the world. If you decide to do a notebook, the notebook will look like special. It will be special, so people will keep it and remember it. Okay? That's one thing that happens. And it, again, as well as other people said before me. Another thing is all the information. You know, this is funny. I was sitting today with you all day. And you have received today tons of messages. This is what happens. This is an illustration, but this is what happens every day to every one of us. We wake up in the morning, we open the cell phone, we look at the text message, the Facebook, then we go to the car, we see the billboards, we see the signs, we come to the office, we look at the computer, and then we come here and we listen to people from all over the world giving us more and more and more and more information. No way you can remember everything. All this information, by the way, not all of it, but most of it comes from the eyes. You know, imagine this day did not exist, and we will send you, Peter will send you PDF with PowerPoints and tell you, here's the seminar, here's the information. No one will open it, because you've got already so much information coming from the computer. So you come here, you want to listen. So most of the information is coming from the eyes, every day to every one of us. About 200 years ago, I'll say it slow so the people can translate it, but 200 years ago, a person received about 100 messages every day. No internet, no computer, no things like this. 100 messages. He got a mail with a stamp, he read the mail, he think about it, he replies the day after. From 100 messages, you can remember many. Today, on average, a person received 3,000 messages. 3,000 messages every day. You know what you do with this brain every day? You delete information. You don't remember. After you finish today, when you go back home, you will remember there was one crazy Israeli guy. There was another normal guy. Thank you. There was another lady in the beginning. A lady also presented here. And Peter in between saying hello. This is what you remember the whole day. You cannot remember all this information. So, what do? You need to make something special. Something special means another sense, not just the eyes. So, why do you remember Rafi? Because he was crazy and he was shouting. you will remember him. If I take all my clothes now, you will remember me also. But there's another way. Another way is to add another sense. If you lick something, if you taste something, if you smell something, you will remember. If you received in the mail something that shines and glitter, it will stop for a second, you will remember it. You will remember it 10 times more than something that is normal. So adding another sense, touching something. Every one of you that had a sample today, when I passed him, I saw he was doing this. He did this, and then he will remember. He will remember the sample because it was something unique. Maybe 10 times, maybe 15 times, but he will remember more than just printing CMYK on a white paper. And this is what we do. We add another sense. I talked about the book industry. I don't have to say too much about it, but this is what happens in the bookstore. You go in, you've got millions of books, you choose by the cover. Yes, you choose by the cover, you look at the cover, if it's nice, you pick it up. Then you start reading the content. 90% of the time, this is what happens. No one, maybe 2% of the people go into the bookstore looking for a specific book. They either buy a present for someone, so they don't care, or they say, you know what, I'll buy a book. So they don't care what they buy until they pick it up in their hand. Steve Jobs, many have heard of him, from Apple. He made the box of the iPhone. I don't know if you heard of the box of the iPhone. This is similar. It's not the same box, but the idea of the box was that you have an experience. If you open the box, it opens a little slow. It's like the phone was born in your hand. And he invested $4 million on that box. We did not. We invest $2. But it's the same idea. It makes attraction. It has the idea of making an experience with the box. And he understood it's all about specialty and experience. So just to explain what is this, I'm going to give you a little bit of samples here, and you can pass them around. They all have different type of enhancement created by Scodex, and you can see, your reaction. The same reaction you have, I'll give this, the same reaction you have is the reaction your consumer will have. And when we start asking what is so special about this, because people liked it, what's so special about it, we end up with a few things, and I will explain. So Peter is the first and the only company in Hungary that uses this technology, and very successfully. We see the results, we see the samples outside, the jobs. It differentiates him from others. It can differentiate you if you use the same technology from your competitors. That's what it does. It makes your product completely different. Technically, it supports the big size that HP said and all the paper. It's an inkjet, and it gives you the ability to do all these effects even with one copy. So all you need to do, I'm not going to go technically about it, but all you need to do is create a fifth separation, another layer. Everyone with Photoshop or Illustrator can do that. It's not a big deal. Peter team can help you. There's not much effort to create these effects. We have tools to make it very simple for you. So what is it? First of all, there is the technology about the registration. After all, we put something like clear varnish on top of the image, and it's precisely in place. That's one of our technology. The second thing is the height, the ability to do very raised effect that you can feel. That's the value of it. The third thing is the 99 GU, which is a gloss. It's very glossy. Means gets your attention, gets the consumer attention. You can see it from far. It stops your eyes, and you will look at it. And you can do the variable density or the different heights and different effects. Some of the samples here, you will see that. So I'm not going to go into all these effects, but there's technical explanation about it. The fifth thing is the metallic. So, and you've seen it in some of the samples that created by Peter. With very little effort, Peter can make you metallic colors, also with this technology, every metallic color, and you can play with it. You don't have to make special efforts. You just need to tell him, we want metallic, and you'll get metallic colors, all the metallic colors, with very simple technology for even one copy. You don't have to decide in advance what exactly effect you want. So this is a good example for it. It's a cover of a CD, and the customer requested to see different versions. With one copy, you can see that, you can feel it, you can actually see the final product with the raised effect, with all these, and then decide, and then do the whole run. Something that was not possible before. Before, you needed to go through the whole process thinking how it will look. Now, it's possible. And as I mentioned, we have tools for you, Peter have tools for you to create these very simple. All these effects, don't think of them technologically, they're not difficult to do. So, just to go over case studies, you've heard so many case studies today, so I'm just going to show you some here with things, few here. That this is a restaurant menu created in China, and you can see some of the ugly food here with a lot of Scodix on it. You don't have to like the food, but you have to like the Scodix effect, and they did a very good job with creating another dimension to the product and making it much more attractive. As I mentioned, brands are doing a lot of paper bags. This is very growing application these days. It adds another dimension to the whole experience. People buy a product and they get it in a bag. So eBay or Coca-Cola or MasterCard, with a very simple effects, they make their product and they make the whole experience, the whole package, to look different and to look premium, to look special. One of my favorite is an invitation. This was an event, a launch event for Ferrari. 700 people were invited, and Ferrari wanted to have a very special invitation. So they created this invitation. It's a folded invitation. I'll pass it through, and if you want later on, I think I did pass through, but you can see it. It's almost black and white. Almost no color. If you take the Scodix away, it's a black and white, very simple. But once you touch it and you see it, it's extremely special, very, very unique, and again, something that created with the Scodix event, Scodix technology. The other thing, this is another brochure. We talked about if you want to make a brochure, most of the time you can do PDF, you can send it by email, but sometimes you have to make a brochure. So this is for nail. All the ladies here understand how important is the color. And the color with the Scodix makes it as close to reality as it is. And then you can decide if you want. This was printed in one batch, about 30,000, and now it's a standard for this product. They will always do it with this technology because it really serves the right colors. And again, I have photo albums and boxes and credit and event cards. They are all enhanced with different Scodix effect that you can experience. The bottom line, and I'll jump straight to the bottom line here, with not going over all these because you've seen them. These are all samples of jobs. I'm saving you from that. But I just want to go over to the bottom line. And I think this serves the whole messages that you heard today. You have to make your product special. It needs to be in a big size because big matters. It needs to be with great content. It needs to be a message that supports the real life and combine different technology like Rafi was mentioning before. And it has to look premium. It has to look special also when you touch it and add another dimension to it, another emotion. So you have to stand out, make it special. You have to work for it. And I guess Peter will make it all for you. You want your customer and the consumer to remember the product. You want them even to keep it if possible. So put the effort to make it special, make it look like something they never saw before so they share with others. And at least they keep them for a split second more than throwing it to the garbage compared to all the others. That will give you the higher attach rate. That will give you, of course, the fact that your product will be. Remember, you bring more value with this technology. With all this that you heard today, it's all about adding value. And actually, what Peter is doing with Primer is giving value, different values to your product. And that's what you want. And the bottom line, with today's world, with all these messages and technologies and all this attraction and disattractions, you have to be special, you have to stand out, you have to say, you have to do something that's unique and different and, you know, make your brand stand out. So, thank you.